The good news is the tree that I was afraid was going to fall in the middle of my house will never fall in the middle of my house. It just fell kind of on the edge. Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and it is a beautiful January day here in Oklahoma. The weather forecasters missed the forecast because it was supposed to snow like all evening yesterday, all night last night, and it's probably 45 degrees and sunny today with no snow. So they were predicting all this snow and possible light rain and drizzle, freezing rain, whatever. So Houston and I came out last night and thought, well, we'll try to start some of these brush piles on fire. That's the best time to burn a brush pile, is when there's snow on the ground, because there's zero chance of it going anywhere. And we got no snow, but we did get a couple of them to burn pretty well. We'll go down and take a look at those. So we pushed several huge brush piles like this, I don't know, about a month ago, because the plan is to fence in this whole area back behind the house for the animals. And obviously we left a lot of trees. We didn't just clear cut it, but I've gone through and cut a ton of firewood logs and possibly some sawmill logs out of these brush piles, but eventually we're just gonna have to burn them anyways. And according to all the old farmers, the best time to burn a brush pile is 1 month after it's pushed. I don't know what 1 month does, but we're gonna see if we can get these things to burn today, even though we didn't get any snow. There's almost no wind. The ground is really wet. It's been really muddy, just kind of dark, gloomy, drizzly weather a lot. We haven't had a lot of rain, but it's just kind of yucky. And as you can see, it's just bare dirt with a little bit of green grass growing in here that we planted after, you know, we tore all the soil up when we had that dozer in here. So I came back with like a wheat and rye and oats type mixture, just something to get some green cover crop on the ground so that the rain wouldn't wash the soil away all winter. But that keeps these fires from going anywhere, so it should be good and safe. And we have very little wind, so the embers shouldn't carry too far. So let's see if we can get a brush pile to ignite. Now I'm going to start off the more eco-friendly way and use a propane torch. Try to get it going that way. If we have to, if that doesn't work, we'll resort to a little bit of farm diesel. And I won't use a lot, just enough to get the fire going really good, because these brush piles have a lot of dead wood in them, but there's also a lot of green wood in there. So we'll see if we can get them to burn. And then hopefully later on in the video, my cousin called, and you remember that big tree in the backyard I couldn't cut down? Well, he's got a tree service, but his truck was broke down for a long time. He called this morning and said he had his truck up and running. So hopefully he will show up today, and we can get that big tree at least taken down. Probably won't get it all cut up into firewood today, but at least get it on the ground, and it won't be a threat to our house anymore. So anyways, let's get to it. Well, talk about timing. I just said let's get to it and get this brush pile started burning, and I thought I kind of hear something. So I walked over the driveway, and look, they're coming in the driveway right now with the big truck. And don't laugh when you see this truck. It's not like a new fancy rig. But it works and it gets the job done, and that's how he makes his living. So we'll get that tree cut down in just a second, and then we'll come back here and get this brush pile burning. Well, I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of cleanup to do in the backyard, but I figured while he was here and he knows what he's doing and he's got a big truck that'll reach a long ways, I'd have him trim a lot more of these trees that are hanging over the house. So he's making quite the mess here on the ground, but good thing is we got that grapple bucket on the tractor. We can just pick it all up and get it out of the way. And he's braver than I. He'll go way up in the air with that thing. But they had to work on the truck a little bit, so I went ahead and tried to get a brush pile burning over there. It's still smoking a little bit. It's not exactly burning great, but we'll get her going. The theory of the day is going to be adapt and overcome. So he blew another hydraulic line on his lift, so got the top out of it, but we're going to wrap a chain around it, use the tractor, and then cut it and pull it down. So the main part is we got the top down. You saw that fall, so let's give it a shot. So, y'all remember that time I rented a boom lift to try to cut down a tree in my backyard? And I was unsuccessful. And I said, we're just going to leave this to the professionals because I don't want to smash my house with a tree and I don't want to die. Well, we did leave it to the professionals. And we got a lot of limbs trimmed away from the house. And then, well, I guess I'll just show you what happened, because I didn't have all the cameras recording because he asked me to use the tractor to pull the tree away from the house. You know, we hooked the cable and chains and did all the things and did everything the way we should have. But this tree was very much more dead than what we realized at the base. And didn't have the cameras recording because I was on the tractor. And well, guess what? That is not the direction the tree was supposed to fall. Let's walk over here and look at this. So now, I'm not gonna question the man's workmanship and why he did the things he did, because he's a relative of mine. Gemma, are you questioning anyone's workmanship? And he does this all the time, and he definitely knows what he's doing. But the tree was a lot more rotten than what we thought, and you can see he was cutting through it and it snapped, and it used this higher piece right here as a hinge, and when it snapped it started to twist, pivot, and we had cables and chains hooked up to the tractor. This cable may or may not have broken, and the tree fell, and it kept falling. It was like slow motion. I'm sitting on my tractor watching this situation all play out, and it hit my house. Like, it smashed my roof. Could have been about 100 times worse. Luckily, it didn't really do too much damage. Could have smashed my central heat and air unit, which it did hit it, moved it about 6 inches, dented the side right there. But I think it may have actually, I'm not positive, but I think it may have actually broken one of my trusses under there. So the job that I said I was going to leave up to the professionals, not dogging anyone, I promise you, I'm not dogging anybody, but accidents happen, I get it. And the good thing is, he is fully insured and bonded, so this will all be covered on insurance. But I hate doing that. I hate filing a claim against someone's insurance. I mean, I was helping him. I was part of the problem, I guess. I just did what he asked. He didn't want to use his big truck to try to pull it because the tractor would have a lot more control with that hydrostatic transmission, and the truck, he was afraid that we would, you know, pop the clutch and yank on the tree too hard and it ended up falling the wrong way. Well, it fell the wrong way anyways. Now we've got a heck of a mess back here to clean up, but I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna clean anything up. I'm gonna wait for the insurance adjuster, and they'll come out and see how much damage there is actually to the roof, because this is the pits, you know what? This is the pits. But so the way my dad built this house years and years ago, he put a huge overhang on this log house. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 feet overhang. And the reason he did that was to protect the logs. And you can see it does a really good job of hanging over and keeping the water off the logs. Well, that's a lot of overhang, so when that tree hit and smashed this down, you know, there's a really good chance that up underneath it broke some trusses. I mean, you can see the plywood just snapped and cratered. I mean, that's no good. It's gonna have to come down, so maybe we can take a look. Yeah. Better just wait for the insurance adjuster. You know, it couldn't have just snagged a gutter and pulled that down. So as you would imagine, this has really thrown a kink into my day. Kind of throws everything off. I'm not going to be too worried about brush piles. We'll go down there and check one. I may take the grapple down there and restack some brush, because that one started last night. I haven't shown you guys that one all morning, but it's pretty much burned most of the center of that brush pile out. But yeah, nobody got hurt. Luckily it didn't fall, just smashed through the roof of my house. I mean, the roof is still intact, and even if it rains, it's not like we're gonna have a huge hole in our roof. This is real life, right? I mean, I almost just said, we'll scrap all this and not show everyone, but it's just what happens. It is what it is. There's no reason to stress out about it, get mad and throw a fit. We'll get it fixed, and you know, on the bright side, my dad and I put that roof on here when I was probably in junior high, and we just put sheet metal over the top of the shingles. And for the last few years, I've been kind of debating it's probably about time for a new roof. So this may be a good excuse to tear all this out, because we're going to have a lot of work to redo right there, and put a new roof, at least on the log part. The other part still got, I mean, it's brand new. Well, not brand new, it's about 10 years old now, but it's a lot newer than this roof. So, you know, even with the bad, sometimes there comes good. Good things come from bad circumstances sometimes. So maybe we'll end up with a new roof. So back to, you know, the original point of the video. This was one of the brush piles we pushed up here, and I started last night. This thing was probably, I don't know, 15 feet tall or higher, and it's burnt out pretty much all of the center. So I'm going to come in with the tractor and try to push some of this in and repile it, restack it, see if we can get it to continue to burn. It's been burning for, I don't know, almost 24 hours, so we'll see what we can do.
So I will go ahead ahead and assign a traveler's adjusters to contact you to set up an appointment to come on out and write up an estimate on the damages.
Okay. Well, I think that's where the story's going to end for today. Today did not work out like I had planned whatsoever. I mean, not even close. But that's life. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Things don't work like we want. Things don't always go as planned. I mean, maybe I will at least get a brush pile to burn. But started off today with this huge plan in mind. I had it all worked out in my head. I was all going to go, and got a big kink thrown in it. But it's just kind of how things go sometimes. It's just a good reminder that we're not in control of everything. We, as much as we want to be in control, especially as men, we want to have total and complete control of every situation, of everything that's going on. And days like this are a good reminder that we're not always in control. We're not always going to get things to go right. But the good news is, God has a plan. God is in control, and I truly believe that with all of my heart. And things work out the way they're supposed to for a reason. And no one got hurt today. Yeah, there is a huge problem with my roof, a huge problem with my house now. But the good news is, the tree that I was afraid was going to fall in the middle of my house will never fall in the middle of my house. It just fell kind of on the edge of my roof and did quite a bit of damage. So, oh well, it is what it is. We'll get it fixed. There's no, it just doesn't do any good to be mad and upset about a situation like this. Try to live a carefree life like Bella over there. Look at her. Not a care in the world. And things work out. It'll all get done. It'll all get fixed, and we may end up with a new roof out of the deal. So, on to the next adventure, on to the next day. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.